good morning, good evening. Today what I am bringing you, it's a very short video on contour of Middle East. Middle East, as you know, it has a very fascinating history, but it also has a very complicated present. So Middle East was a cradle of civilization, but at present, if you see, it's a center of many conflicts and confrontation going on. So what in this video, what we are going to do is trace this source of the all these conflict what you are seeing today, and what was the decision made in history and how it impacted what is happening today. So different conflicts and confrontation what we are seeing, like Syria war and uh, genesis of ISIS, and then you have Palestine issue. So how our decision made in history has impacted what is happening in this. So this is a very short analysis of that, so please keep watching, and uh, let's just start. So just to give a brief about Middle East, what it is at present today, what you are seeing on your screen, on the screen is the map of current Middle East state. So name Middle East is actually kind of misnomer, as it's not exactly from the perspective of Middle East Asia, but it was given by British and USA in around 1906, when they defined this region as Middle East, and this is the Eastern Asia, and but it is lying in the middle, so they had provided the name as Middle East. But from the perspective of Asia, this is not exactly a Middle East. It's kind of Western Asia, you can say. So as you see on the map, Middle East consisted of mostly the nation which is today the Islamic nation. We have the Gulf countries, which contains of the biggest one is Saudi Arabia, and then you have peripheral state like Yemen, Oman, United Arab Emirates, then you have Qatar, Bahrain, and Iran, and Iraq, and Kuwait, the small state of Kuwait. So these states are basically Gulf state, and why they are called Gulf state? Because they are surrounded by the Persian Gulf. This is the Persian Sea here, which is called the Persian Gulf here, and all the littoral state around this Persian Gulf are called the Gulf countries. But we also have other countries, Middle East, which are not exactly the Gulf country, which contains your Syria and your Jordan, Lebanon, and somehow Egypt and Turkey also comes under the Middle East, but exact Middle East is these countries what you are seeing. Syria and sorry, Egypt and Turkey is not exactly inside that. So this is basically is your Middle East at present, and I call this as a flying angel. Because it looks like to me as a flying angel, where you can see the head and your uh, hand, you can see, and this is the body. So why is this flying angel is the major source of conflict in this region? So we'll go through that, and we'll see what happened in history, which resulted in what is present today. There was a time when Middle East part was called the Fertile Crescent. It was around 2500 BC. The area lying, what you can see in the green is was Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia, you know, is the modern day Iraq, and some part of Syria, and plus some part of Arabia. This region was one of the birthplace of human civilization, where multiple civilization like Mesopotamia, Babylon, and you have Sumerian, you have Assyria, multiple civilization evolved in this region. And it's also called the Fertile Crescent because of its the lush soil, and the river, which was the Tigris River and Euphrates River. This region was very fertile because of these two rivers in ancient time, and it was the granary of the world. Middle East was not only your fertile crescent of the world; it was also the genesis of many European religions. So Middle East gave major religion of Europe, which includes Christianity plus Judaism. The first was the Judaism, which spread through the natural immigration and when Roman forcibly dispersed the rebellion Israelis in the first and second century. And after then there was Mithraism, which spread through that, and but Mithraism was replaced with Christianity. But source for all these regions was Middle. So if you look into the map, you will see how the region originated and spread after that. So if you see the origination of Christianity, which you can see the purple line, so if you see the origin is here, which is again the Middle East and modern day Israel, what you see, and other religion like your Judaism, same place. The again source is here itself. The both religion started from the same place, and then after then they spread in different part of world. The next big event was the spread of Islam. Islam was spread in Middle East in 17th century AD, which is in present day Saudi Arabia. They spread across Arabian Peninsula, and after they went to northern Africa and many part of Europe, like present day Portugal and Spain. In very less time, from 632 to 652, they managed to conquer entire Middle East, North Africa, Persia, and part of southern Europe, which include your Spain and Portugal. With the spread of Islam, also Arabic language spread throughout the Middle Eastern, and you can see the what in current day Middle Eastern that contains your initial spread of Islam. Initially, Islam was started from the very small region of Saudi Arabia in the earmarked place, what you can see on the map. It was started on around 600 AD. By 655 AD, it has spread to multiple regions. You can say this it has spread to northern Africa, southern Europe, then Middle East anyway it contained. By 750 AD, at the height of Caliphate, the Muslim empire had become very vast and powerful. The Umayyad Caliphate, you can see on the screen in the green, represents the part of Islam empire. It was a center of wealth, arts, and learning at a time when only China was so rich and powerful. This was the height of Arab power. You can see different empire here when in the China. You have different empires in India. And then this is the Caliphate Empire, which had become very big and powerful by 750 AD. The next big empire which came in the Middle East was the Ottoman Empire. Ottoman Empire is named for Osman, its first ruler, who in early 1300 expanded it from a tiny part of northwest Turkey to a slightly less tiny part. So this is on the map. You can see this is the part on 1300 where Ottoman Empire was started. It continued expanding for about 500 years, ruling over most of Middle East, North Africa, and Southeastern Europe for centuries. It was probably the last great non-European empire until it began declining in mid 1800. It collapsed after World War One, and after World War One, this different part of Ottoman Empire was divided between different European power, and many new state was also created out of it. As you can see, at the height of power, Ottoman Empire consisted of very large empire, which consisted of your northern Africa, your Egypt, and state along the Red Sea. This is your Red Sea. And then you have Turkey, which was called Anatolia. And then you have Eastern Europe and Southern Europe. Out, among that, you had many small states like Greece, Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary. So it consisted of huge empire. In 1912, just before the World War One, it power was reduced very greatly. You can see Ottoman Empire just was reduced to just few states of modern day Turkey, and then you have some part of Arabia, some part of Iraq, and then you have Balkan state, which contains your Bulgaria, your Bosnia, and then small state of Montenegro, Serbia, and which we saw that once Ottoman Empire had disintegrated in World War One, sorry, before World War One, since it started disintegrating, empire was very weak, so all the small states started fighting for independence. So these Balkan area, which knew that empire is disintegrating and they can get the independence, so they started fighting among themselves, and this became the powder cake of Europe, which resulted in World War One. After World War One, Ottoman Empire disintegrated completely. All the state broke up and became independent. Only the remain what remained here was small part of Turkey. All the southwestern Turkey went to France. We will see later on that how it went to France and by which agreement. And then all other state like Balkan state they got independent, and then after then they merged with either one state or another state. Yugoslavia was created, Serbia was created, and Bulgaria. So different state got out of Ottoman Empire. Ottoman Empire disintegrated completely and only remained part of Turkey. But later on, these part got integrated by Ataturk, and then Turkey became whole after some time. But after World War One, it remained the very few part remained under Turkey, and Ottoman Empire was gone completely. In 1916, around 1916, when Alliance was winning the war, alliance of Britain and France, and they knew the disintegration of Turkey Empire was imminent, then everybody started thinking of how to divide the disintegrating Ottoman Empire and how can they capture the those part which is coming out of the empire. Now comes the very important Sykes-Picot Agreement, which is very important milestone in history, which impacted Middle East in very great way. Sykes-Picot Agreement was secret treaty between United Kingdom and France. It was done in 1916. This was not even a formal treaty, it was an informal talk between two nations to divide the sphere of influence of from the disintegrating empire of Turkey, or you can say Ottoman Empire, not Turkey. It was to define their mutually agreed sphere of influence and control in eventual partition of Ottoman Empire, which they were expecting which will happen very soon once the war finishes, and which actually happened. The agreement effectively divided Ottoman provinces outside Arabian Peninsula into area of British and French control of influence. So on the map what you can see, it defines what was the area which French directly controlled, what was the area where French influenced. Similarly, what was the area which was under direct British control, and what was the area under British influence, and there was some part which kept under the international zone. So we'll see which all part France got and which all part Britain got as part of this agreement. As part of this agreement, today's southern Israel, which is around here, we'll see a different color. Yep. And you have Jordan, which is somewhere around here, southern Iraq, then southern Turkey. Southern Turkey went under French influence, and then you can see Aleppo, Syria, Jordan, all came under direct French control. So this whole area came under direct French control. Then under British, you have Iraq, which went into direct control of British. Then in Mediterranean, they got some small part of Haifa, which there is a Haifa port in the Mediterranean. And the small part of Palestine went into international zone. So this is how it divided as part of Skype Skype and Picard agreement. This is how the Middle East was divided, and this is often cited as a cause of warfare and violence and extremism in Middle East. This is the main region which is called how the Middle East in conflict today, and why that is the case we will see in the next part. Why Sykes-Picot Agreement is the major, it's considered as a major source for what today's conflict are happening. So that we can say that the first thing is it created an artificial border in Middle East. It created border based on their economic and political region for these country, which is France, uh, mainly the France and Britain, but other countries were also involved, which included Russia and Italy. So it created the artificial border in Middle East without considering any or without regarding any ethnic and sectarian characteristic of Middle East, which is very diverse and culturally it is very important for them. And it has resulted in endless conflict. We will see how and why. The first thing is the Kurd question. The Kurd was divided between Iraq, Iran, and Turkey. So some part of Kurd went to Turkey, some part of here, some part went to Iraq, and then some part went to Iran. So Kurd never got their own country and they are still called the countryless and they are spread across many different regions. This was the first major mistake of Sykes-Picot Agreement. Then if you look into the other state also like Iraq and Iran, those were divided, but if you look into Iraq also included a population of Christians, Sunni Muslims, Shia Muslims, Yazidis, Assyrians, Turkmen, even a substantial Jewish populations. So creation of these states, they were the multiple ethnic and multiple sectarian uh, characteristic was present in the state, which later on boiled on to become a major sectarian, become a source of major sectarian crisis. Similarly, if you see the constituent of Lebanon, Lebanon was then majority Christian with substantial population of Sunni and Shia Muslim. And again for the Syria you have majority of Sunni Muslim but significant population of Christian and Alawites. So if you see the today's crisis and today's strife and the war which is happening, the first thing happened with the Lebanese civil war 1975 to 1990. It was between the Christian population and the Muslim population of Lebanon. Then current Syria war again it is going on because of multiple sector present in the Syria where your Alawite are the ruling party and then there are different Sunni and Shia Muslim. Similarly, Iraq is also boiling because of Shia and Sunni sectarian crisis and tension. When ISIS was created, their major goal was to reverse the effect of Sykes-Picot Agreement for the purpose of building a united Islamic State. They propagated this message to major area which was received, and according to them this is a united Islamic State, and but because of Western state and because of Sykes-Picot Agreement the Arab did not get the fair treatment which they deserved. So they wanted to reverse this treatment. That was their major goal. Problem with Sykes-Picot agreement was not just that the problem happening because of agreement, problem happened because also that agreement was not kept. The promises met in agreement was not kept. For example, promise was made that Palestine, British was committed the Palestine, which was violated later on when Jewish state was created in Palestine. And we will say the problem with Israel and Palestine in next section, that how it erupted and what is the current state. But before that, the current map what you are seeing was not exactly 70 to 80 years before. It was different. New states were created after World War II. So after World War II, many states which was under British, French and Soviet influence, they departed and they emerged as a new nation. So Iran, Turkey, Saudi Arabia kept their boundary. They remained as it is, but new states like Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Iraq, Egypt, Israel was created after World War II. Now, Britain had promised a Jewish state for Jews. So, and which was the original state of Israel, what you see today. The struggle erupted between Arab and Jews in Palestine in 1947, which culminated in United Nations plan to partition the Palestine. They sought to create Arab state and separate Jewish state in narrow space between the Jordan River and Mediterranean. And we'll see what was the United Nations plan and what happened and what is the current state. On the map, what you can see is at the left hand side was the original plan of partition by UN. So if you see, this whole area was Arab Palestine. United Nations proposed it to partition, where Israel will get this part, and then some part of Mediterranean Sea, and other part, sorry, this part was the Palestine, and other blue part, it you can see, was the proposed Jewish state. And this is the Jerusalem is here. But what happened? Arab countries were not in conformation. They were not happy with the United States partition plan. They invaded in 1948. After the invasion, Israeli army counter-attacked and they won many part after then. So what you can see, originally UN has proposed the Israel in this area only, but after the war, Israel got multiple area and multiple part. They limited the Palestine to West Bank, which is here, and the Gaza, the small part of Gaza. So apart from West Bank and Gaza, Israel captured all the area. In history of Israel and Palestine conflict, the next big event was the Six-Day War of 1967. In 1967, what happened? Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser demanded United Nations force to withdraw from Gaza Strip and Sinai Peninsula. So you can see on the map, this is the Gaza Strip and this is the Sinai Peninsula, where the UN peacekeeping force was established, and the Nasser he demanded that UN withdraw that, and UN complied. They withdrew it, but after then Israel, they anticipated Arab strike. So instead of waiting for Arab nation to strike Israel then Israel did the preemptive strike on 1967. As result of this war, which went on for 6 days, Israel captured multiple parts, and after the capture part was Sinai Peninsula, and then Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, Golan Height from Syria, and East Jerusalem and West Bank from Jordan. Now Israel was successful in this war and Arab nation was unsuccessful. As a result of this war, Israel captured more area which included Golan Heights from Syria, Sinai from Egypt and Gaza and West Bank from Jordan. Now is what Egypt did in 1973. Egypt again launched the war to recapture Sinai area from Israel. But Egypt was again successful. Israel defeated Egypt in that war. But in 1979, there was a treaty between Egypt and Israel, which is going on till still it is going on till now. So, according to this treaty, Israel returned this area to Egypt. So right now, this area is part of Egypt, but Israel still command Golan Heights and other area which it won as part of 1967 war. So that was the gist of major conflict in Middle East and what was the and major decision made in history, including Sykes-Picot Agreement, which impacted Middle East, what is it is today in very big way. Uh, what you can see on the screen is the current current status of Middle East. So we have still the conflict going on with Syria war, then conflict is still going on with Israel and Palestine issue is still raging on. Then you have sectarian war going on in Iraq. We have issue with Iran, which is the major Shia nation and the Sunni nation of Saudi Arabia. They both are fighting for domination in Gulf countries, or you can say Arabian countries. And other than that, we have other strife going on Yemen, where Saudi Arabia has invaded Yemen to topple the government. So you can see we still have the multiple conflict area where Syria, Israel, Yemen, Iran, and Iraq is already a sectarian war is going on in Iraq. Egypt is also not very stable. In Turkey, we have problem of Kurdish. Kurdish problem is still going on where Kurds are part of constitute part of Turkey, Iraq, and Syria. So this is the current state of Middle State. What is happening today is the part of what happened in history and it is continuing and there is no end in sight. I will finish my video here. Hope you like it. If you like this, please subscribe to my channel. Good day. And please do give your comment if you have any. Good day, good night. Thank you.